I'm going to discuss this article that I found about the MAGA movement and sort of what it's meant to the country and the world over the last, I'll give it, 8 years? We'll call 2015 the time that MAGA really launched. It's obviously changed a bit over the years. It started out like Trump was pretty supportive of gay folks. He is not now. He has found that even though it's his movement, or he coined the phrase at least, he's found that he is being outmatched by a number of these folks who keep going higher and harder than he does. For example, DeSantis in Florida has all these draconian policies towards the LGBTQ community, going after Disney, calling them woke, calling everyone woke. And he's so anti-woke, he's just the coolest to school, except he's not. People in school still should be learning history and not some bastardized version that makes us look like the good guys throughout the history of the planet. It's simply not the case. And all you need to go and do is visit a reservation and find out. Or I'll tell you what, just acknowledge that we have reservations that natives live on to realize that we're not so great. We've done some awful things, and it is fair to feel bad for doing awful things, even if it wasn't you, even if it was your ancestors. I'm not saying you're guilty of it. You're not. You didn't own any slaves because they're not legal to own now. But you're born out of a system that absolutely maintained its legality for a long time and exploited human beings for a long time. And it's fair that you know it, and it's fair that your kids know it. So anyway, the MAGA movement, this article is saying that it's basically impotent now. It's lost its teeth. So the MAGA movement, each passing day, looks smaller and smaller and smaller, more impotent. It's loud but ineffective, and it's capable of creating chaos, but it doesn't win. You only need to go back to 2022 and see the midterms, where honestly, the House should have been dominated by Republicans, and they should have gotten the Senate. They got neither. And they got neither because of MAGA, not in spite of. The recent debt ceiling deal that got reached, it illustrates exactly. MAGA's there. They love to holler, scream, yell, but they don't really enjoy action. They don't really enjoy doing anything. There was a red line they put in the sand. It got crossed by Kevin McCarthy pretty quickly. The none shall pass moment for the far-right Republicans in Congress, and a chance to use the threat of economic disaster that would accompany a default to undo all the things that big bad Biden did, to slash spending to the bone, poke holes in our public safety net, which it's appalling. It's appalling that they keep giving tax incentives to the rich while continually trying to tear down anything that would help unfortunate folks in the country. So Trump, you may not remember, or maybe you do. Honestly, if you're watching my news, maybe you didn't hear him say it. Or maybe you did. And if you did, and if you're a MAGA guy, I love that you're watching. Please keep watching. I don't expect you to change your mind, but I love the fact that you're getting another opinion. I like to watch your right-wing news to keep my opinion at least a little moldable. I want to know what each side's saying. So he said, I say to the Republicans out there, congressmen, senators, if they don't give you massive cuts, you're going to have to do a default. That's what Trump said during his CNN town hall. That CNN town hall was a disaster, by the way. Republican Representative Kevin Hern out of Oklahoma, the chair of the Republican Study Committee, told Axios that he agreed with Trump. And Ralph Norman of North Carolina said either they agree to the cuts, which are modest, or they take responsibility for what's about to happen. Okay. But then McCarthy got in the room with Biden. He caved. He didn't make MAGA's demands. He didn't make sure that MAGA's demands held true. No, MAGA demanded that pretty much everything Biden did for the first 2 years wiped away, would have been gone. He didn't do that. Now, it was also a pretty unreasonable proposal. You can't expect a president and a party to just erase everything that they've been working on. And they didn't. They weren't willing to. And the GOP, they accepted it. They got over it. MAGA once again tucked his tail between his legs and ran off.